The rain pounded against the windshield as Reagan gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white against the leather. She had driven through the night, fleeing the chaos of her family's 4th of July barbecue where everything had exploded. In that split second under the fireworks, she had leaned in and kissed Marley, her best friend Sarah's older sister, right there in front of everyone. And now the fallout was ripping through her life like a hurricane. Reagan's mind raced back to how it all started, that innocent invitation to the lake house 2 months earlier. Sarah had begged her to come along for the summer getaway, promising lazy days by the water and bonfires under the stars. Reagan, fresh out of a dead-end job in Chicago and nursing a bruised heart from a string of failed dates with men who never understood her, had jumped at the chance. But from the moment she arrived at the sprawling cabin in upstate New York, Marley's presence had shifted something deep inside her. Marley was everything Reagan wasn't. Poised, unapologetic, with a quiet intensity that drew people in without effort. At 28, she had built a career as a graphic designer in New York City, her life a tapestry of independence and subtle rebellion against their conservative family's expectations. Sarah, Reagan's roommate from college and closest confidant, had always spoken of Marley with a mix of admiration and exasperation, calling her the black sheep who refused to settle down with a nice guy like their parents wanted. That first evening, as they unpacked in the sun-drenched living room, Marley had caught Reagan staring at the family photos on the mantel. "You look like you've seen a ghost," Marley said, her voice low and teasing, a small smile playing on her lips. Reagan flushed, mumbling something about the beautiful view of the lake. But inside her thoughts churned. Why does her smile make my stomach twist like this? I've never felt this pull before, not with anyone. As the days blurred into weeks, the lake house became a pressure cooker of unspoken tensions. Sarah dragged Reagan on hikes and boat rides, chattering about her latest crush on a coworker back home. But Reagan found herself gravitating toward Marley, who preferred quiet mornings with her sketchbook on the dock. One afternoon while Sarah napped inside, Reagan joined Marley there, the water lapping gently against the wood. "You're different from Sarah's other friends," Marley observed, not looking up from her drawing. "Most of them are all about the party scene. You seem thoughtful." Reagan laughed nervously, dipping her toes into the cool water. "Thoughtful? That's code for boring, right?" But her mind whispered doubts. Am I boring? Or am I just hiding who I really am? They talked for hours about art, dreams, the suffocating weight of family expectations. Marley opened up about her last relationship, a messy breakup with a woman named Alex that had left her questioning everything. "My parents still think it was just a phase," she said bitterly. "Like I can flip a switch and suddenly want the white picket fence with a husband and kids." Reagan's heart pounded. She had never voiced her own confusions, the way men's touches left her cold, the secret crushes on female celebrities she dismissed as admiration. "What if it's not a phase?" she asked softly. "What if it's who you are?" Marley looked at her, then really looked, and Reagan felt exposed, raw. That night, lying in her bed, Reagan's thoughts spiraled. What am I doing? Sarah's my best friend. Marley's her sister. This can't happen. But the pull was undeniable, a magnetic force drawing her closer. The conflicts escalated subtly at first. During a family dinner one weekend when their parents visited, the conversation turned to politics and traditional values. Mr. Thompson, Sarah and Marley's father, a stern retired military man, ranted about the erosion of family in America. His eyes narrowing at Marley. "You need to get serious, Marley. Find a good man, settle down. This freelance life isn't sustainable." Marley tensed, her fork clinking against the plate. "Dad, not everyone wants the same life you do." Reagan watched the exchange, her own stomach knotting. She thought of her own parents back in Illinois, devout Catholics who prayed for her to find a husband. If they knew the thoughts swirling in her head. Later, as the parents retired early, Sarah pulled Reagan aside. "Marley's been acting weird around you. You two okay?" Reagan forced a smile, but inside, she's noticing. What if she suspects? The guilt gnawed at her, a constant whisper that she was betraying her friend. Yet, the moments with Marley intensified. A late-night swim where their hands brushed underwater, sending electric shocks through Reagan's body. A shared blanket during a movie night, Marley's shoulder warm against hers. Each interaction built the tension, A slow burn that Reagan fought against. Why her? Why now? She agonized in her journal, pages filled with conflicted scrawls. One evening after Sarah had gone to town for supplies, Marley confronted Reagan in the kitchen. "You've been avoiding me," she said, her eyes searching. "Did I do something?" Reagan's breath caught. "No, it's me. I don't know what's happening." The words tumbled out, her confusion, the attraction she couldn't name. Marley listened, then reached out, her fingers grazing Reagan's arm. "You're not alone in this," she murmured. That touch ignited something. Reagan pulled away, heart racing. "This is wrong. Sarah would hate me." But the seed was planted, growing roots in her soul. As the summer progressed, the societal pressures mounted. News from home arrived via texts. Reagan's mother forwarding articles about the dangers of modern lifestyles, subtly probing about boyfriends. Sarah confided in Reagan about her worries for Marley. "She's going to end up alone if she doesn't change." Each comment stabbed at Reagan, highlighting the divide between who she was and who she was expected to be. Internally, Reagan battled. Am I gay? Bi? Or just confused? The labels terrified her, evoking images of rejection, lost friendships. But Marley's presence offered a glimpse of authenticity, a life unbound by pretense. The turning point came during a storm. Thunder rattled the windows as Reagan paced her room, unable to sleep. A knock, Marley, soaked from checking the boat. "I couldn't stop thinking about you," she admitted, stepping closer. In that moment, Reagan's resolve cracked. They talked through the night, vulnerabilities laid bare. Marley shared stories of past heartbreaks, the isolation of hiding her truth from family. Reagan confessed her fears, the weight of expectation crushing her spirit. As dawn broke, Marley leaned in. "What do you want, Reagan? Really want?" The kiss was tentative, then consuming. A release of pent-up emotion. But as their lips parted, guilt flooded in. "What have I done?" Sarah's face flashed in Reagan's mind, the betrayal sharp as a knife. The next days were a whirlwind of secrecy. Stolen glances, whispered conversations. But the cracks showed. Sarah noticed the tension confronting Reagan. "What's going on with you two? You're acting like strangers, or worse." Reagan lied, the words tasting like ash. Inside, "I'm destroying everything." For what? A fleeting feeling? The family barbecue loomed, a powder keg. As fireworks lit the sky, the truth erupted. Reagan, overwhelmed, pulled Marley aside and kissed her openly. Gasps echoed. Sarah's face crumpled in shock and hurt. "You? With my sister?" Sarah's voice broke. "How could you?" The drive home that night was Reagan's escape, but the storm followed. Calls from her parents, disowning whispers. Sarah's texts. "You're dead to me." Now alone on the highway, Reagan wondered. Was it worth it? The freedom tasted bittersweet, laced with loss. Reagan pulled into a dingy motel off the interstate, the neon sign flickering like her fractured thoughts. She collapsed onto the bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the barbecue's aftermath. Sarah's scream echoed in her ears. "You've ruined everything." And Marley's hand slipping from hers as their father dragged her away, his face twisted in rage. The days following the kiss were a blur of accusations and silences. Back at the lake house, the air thickened with unspoken fury. Sarah packed her bags that night, tears streaming. "I trusted you, Reagan. You were like a sister to me. And you go behind my back with Marley? My own blood." Reagan tried to explain, her voice trembling. "It wasn't planned. Just happened. I love her, Sarah. I think I do." The admission hung heavy, the first time she'd said it aloud. "But inside, do I? Or is this just rebellion against my cage?" Sarah laughed bitterly. "Love? You've known her a month. This is betrayal, pure and simple." She slammed the door, leaving Reagan alone with the echo of her words. Marley found her later, sitting on the dock, knees drawn to her chest. "We should have been more careful," Marley said, sitting beside her. But Reagan pulled away. "Careful? We shouldn't have started at all. Look what we've done." Marley's eyes filled with pain. "You regret it?" Reagan's mind screamed yes and no in equal measure. The attraction was real, a fire that warmed her frozen core. But the cost, losing Sarah, facing her family's wrath, it loomed like a shadow. "I don't know," she whispered. Everything's falling apart. Their parents arrived the next morning, summoned by Sarah's frantic call. Mr. Thompson's face was thunderous as he confronted them in the living room. What is this nonsense? Marley, I thought you'd outgrown this phase. And you? He turned to Reagan. Seducing my daughter? You're no friend to this family. Mrs. Thompson wept quietly in the corner, clutching her rosary. We raised you better, Marley. What will the church say? The neighbors. Marley stood tall, her voice steady. This isn't a phase, Dad. It's who I am. And Reagan. She's part of that now. Reagan watched, admiration mixing with terror. How does she do it? Stand there unbowed? Inside, Reagan quaked. My parents will disown me. I'll be alone. The argument escalated, voices rising like waves crashing. Mr. Thompson demanded they end it, threatening to cut Marley off financially. You'll come home, get help. Therapy, church, whatever it takes. Marley refused, storming out. Reagan followed, finding her by the lake. I can't lose my family, Marley admitted, vulnerability cracking her facade. But I can't lose you either. They decided to fight, but the decision weighed heavy. Reagan called her own parents that night, her hands shaking. Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. The silence on the line was deafening, then her mother's sob. No, Reagan. Not you. We've prayed so hard. Her father took the phone. This is a choice and a wrong one. Come home, we'll fix this. Fix this? Reagan thought bitterly. Like I'm broken. The rejection stung, a deep wound that festered. Back in the house, Sarah watched from afar, her hurt morphing into anger. You two think you can just waltz through this? Society isn't kind to people like you. Jobs, friends. Everything changes. Her words hit home. Reagan recalled the stares in their small town growing up, the whispers about the odd couple down the street. Is that my future? Isolation? Judgment? The next week, tensions boiled over at a local town fair. The family attended to keep appearances, but cracks showed. Whispers spread. Someone had seen the kiss. A neighbor approached Mrs. Thompson. Heard about Marley. Such a shame. Marley overheard, her face paling. Later, she confided in Reagan. I act tough, but it hurts. Being reduced to a label. Reagan held her, but doubt crept in. Am I strong enough for this? The internal battle raged. Desire versus duty. Self versus society. Then came the betrayal. Sarah, in a fit of rage, posted online a vague but pointed rant about backstabbing friends and family secrets. Friends from college messaged Reagan. What's going on? The exposure terrified her. Confronting Sarah, Reagan pleaded. Why? We were sisters. Sarah's eyes flashed. You stole my sister. This is payback. The words cut deep. Reagan's thoughts swirled. She's right. I did this. The guilt amplified, a constant ache. Marley urged her to fight back. We can't let her dictate our lives. But Reagan wavered, the pressure mounting. A job interview in the city offered escape. Reagan drove down, but her mind wandered to Marley. During the meeting, the interviewer asked about personal life. Innocent, but Reagan froze, imagining discrimination. Back at the lake, Marley waited. How'd it go? Reagan broke down. I can't do this. The world isn't ready for us. Marley's face fell. So you're giving up? The argument was fierce, words like daggers. You're a coward, Marley accused. Reagan shot back. And you're delusional. This will destroy us. They parted angry, the rift widening. Alone that night, Reagan questioned everything. Was the kiss a mistake? Or the start of truth? The moral quandary tore at her. Was loving Marley wrong if it hurt others? The next day, a call from her mother. Come home. We'll help you through this confusion. Tempted, Reagan packed a bag. But seeing Marley on the dock, sketching alone, stopped her. The love was real, but so was the pain. Sarah approached then, unexpected. I hate this, but I see how you look at her. Maybe I overreacted. A fragile truce, but the damage lingered. As summer waned, decisions loomed. Reagan chose to stay, but the choice cost her. Strained family ties, lost friendships. Driving now to the motel, she wondered. Can love survive this wreckage? Morning light filtered through the motel's threadbare curtains as Reagan sipped bitter coffee, her phone buzzing with unread messages. Marley's text. Where are you? We need to talk. Sarah's. I'm sorry. Come back. But the wounds were fresh, the path forward murky. Flashbacks pulled her back to the lake house's final weeks. After the tentative reconciliation with Sarah, the trio navigated uneasy waters. Dinners were silent affairs, conversations tiptoeing around the elephant in the room. Reagan and Marley stole moments alone, but each touch carried the weight of scrutiny. One afternoon, while hiking a nearby trail, Sarah opened up. I always knew Marley was different. But you? It blindsided me. Her voice cracked. I feel like I lost both of you. Reagan stopped, guilt surging. I never wanted to hurt you. It's new for me too. Inside, am I selfish? Chasing happiness at her expense? Sarah nodded, but resentment simmered. Just be careful. Dad's not letting this go. Indeed, Mr. Thompson escalated. He called daily, pressuring Marley to come to her senses. One evening he showed up unannounced, Bible in hand. This lifestyle is a sin, he declared. You'll regret it eternally. Marley faced him down. My love isn't a sin, Dad. Your judgment is. Reagan admired her strength but feared the fallout. What if he cuts her off? How do we survive? The societal backlash hit harder. At a community barbecue, stares followed them. A former friend of Sarah's whispered loudly, "Those two? Disgusting." Reagan's cheeks burned, thoughts racing. Is this worth it? The constant battle? Internally, Reagan grappled with ethics. Was pursuing Marley moral if it fractured families? The debates in her head were endless. Love is love, but at what cost? Betrayal versus authenticity. A turning point came during a city trip. Reagan and Marley escaped to New York for a weekend, seeking anonymity. Walking hand in hand through Central Park, they felt free, laughs shared, dreams whispered. But back at the hotel, reality intruded. A call from Reagan's boss. Heard some rumors. Hope it's not affecting your work. The implication chilled her. Discrimination loomed, a real threat in their conservative circles. Marley soothed her. We'll fight it together. But Reagan doubted. Am I ready to lose my career? The mending with Sarah fractured again when she discovered old texts between Reagan and Marley. Innocent but intimate. You were flirting behind my back from day one. Sarah accused. Reagan defended. It wasn't like that. But was it? The lines blurred in hindsight. The confrontation turned ugly. Sarah. Choose her or our friendship. Marley. Don't make her choose. But Reagan felt torn, the pressure crushing. In her mind, I can't lose Sarah. She's family too. She chose neutrality, but it satisfied no one. Marley withdrew, hurt. If you can't commit, what's the point? The isolation grew. Friends distanced themselves, invitations dried up. Reagan's internal monologue darkened. I'm a pariah. For love? Or lust? A moral dilemma peaked when Marley's ex, Alex, reappeared. She texted Marley, offering support. Jealousy flared in Reagan. Is she better? More out? Marley assured her. It's over. But doubt seeded. Then the ultimate betrayal. In a moment of weakness, Reagan confided in a mutual friend about her doubts. Word got back to Marley. You think this is a mistake? Marley demanded, eyes blazing. Reagan admitted. Sometimes, yes. The pain. It's too much. Marley left the room, slamming the door. Alone, Reagan wept. I've hurt her. Am I the villain? Reconciliation attempts followed. Late-night talks, apologies exchanged. But trust eroded. As the summer ended, decisions crystallized. Reagan considered moving to the city with Marley, starting fresh. But family pulled. Her mother's plea. Come home, darling. We can pray this away. The temptation was strong. At the airport, seeing Marley wait, Reagan hesitated. I love you, she said. But I need time. Marley nodded, tears falling. Don't take too long. Back home in Chicago, reality hit. Parents arranged counseling. Conversion therapy disguised as talk. Reagan attended once, the words poisoning her mind. You're confused. Choose right. But memories of Marley sustained her. She quit, defying them. This is me, she declared. The backlash. Disinheritance threats, cold shoulders. Friends judged. It's unnatural. Reagan's awakening dawned slowly. Researching online, connecting with LGBTQ communities, She found solace. But the cost-loss bonds haunted. A call from Sarah. Marley's struggling. She misses you. Guilt resurfaced. My indecision hurt her. Reagan drove back, arriving at the lake house empty now. Marley was there packing. I thought you'd chosen them. Reagan pulled her close. No. Us. But the reunion was short-lived. Mr. Thompson intervened, offering Marley a job back home, if she ended it. The choice. Family or love? Marley wavered. I can't lose them forever. Reagan's heart broke after all this? In the end, Marley chose compromise, distance but not denial. But for Reagan it wasn't enough. I need all or nothing. They parted, tears and regrets. Now in the motel, Reagan stared at her phone. Answer or not? The storm raged on. Reagan hit reply to Marley's text. I'm at a motel off Indy. Need space. But as she pressed send, regret washed over her. Was this the end? The culmination of months of turmoil? Her mind drifted to the immediate aftermath of their parting at the lake. Driving away, Reagan had felt a void, the absence of Marley's touch like a phantom limb. Back in Chicago, she threw herself into work, but distractions failed. Coworkers noticed her distraction. Everything okay? No, she thought. Nothing is. Family dinners were battlegrounds. Her father. We don't condone this. Her mother. Think of your future. Marriage, kids. Reagan pushed back. My future is mine. But inside, do I believe that? The doubt lingered, a shadow. Societal pressures amplified. At a work event, a colleague joked about those gays ruining America. Laughter erupted. Reagan stayed silent, shame burning. Why didn't I speak? Fear of outing myself? Online she sought community, forums, stories of others' struggles. One post resonated. Coming out cost me my family but gained me freedom. Inspiration mixed with terror. Then Marley's call. Dad offered me the family business share if I straighten out. Reagan's stomach dropped. What did you say? I refused. But it hurts. Pride swelled in Reagan. She's fighting. But for what? Us? They met midway in a neutral city hotel. The reunion was electric. Hugs, kisses, confessions. I can't live without you, Reagan admitted. Marley echoed. Me neither. But reality intruded. Sarah texted. Dad's health is failing. Stress from this. Guilt resurfaced. Are we killing him? The moral tightrope tightened. Loving Marley felt right, but the collateral damage, family health, friendships, questioned its ethics. A weekend together turned sour when Alex called Marley. Just checking in, Marley said. But Reagan saw the text. Miss you. Jealousy exploded. You're still talking to her? Marley defended. As friends. The fight was brutal. Accusations flew. You're not committed. You're paranoid. Reagan stormed out, thoughts chaotic. Is this love or toxicity? Reconciliation came, but scars remained. Back home, Reagan faced her own betrayal. A cousin outed her to extended family. Aunts called, pray for your soul. The isolation deepened. She quit her job, unable to handle the whispers. Job hunting revealed biases, subtle rejections after LinkedIn sleuthing. Marley's situation mirrored. Clients dropping her, citing values mismatch. Together on calls, they vented. Society's not ready, Reagan said. But we are, Marley countered. Their resolve strengthened, but tests continued. Sarah's wedding invitation arrived. -1 for Marley. Family only, the note said. Hurt, Marley declined. Reagan attended alone, facing questions. Where's your +1? Inside, hiding again. The hypocrisy gnawed. At the reception, Sarah pulled her aside. I miss us. But this. It's hard. Reagan nodded. For me too. A fragile bridge rebuilt but tenuous. Then the ultimate sacrifice. Marley's father had a heart attack. Blame fell on the stress. Marley rushed home. I have to be there for him. Reagan understood but feared. Will she cave? Days passed without contact. Reagan's anxiety peaked. She's choosing them. When Marley returned, changed. He begged me to end it. For the family. Reagan's world tilted. And I said no. But we need to pause. Give them time. Pause. Reagan thought. That's ending. The argument was heart-wrenching. You're sacrificing us. For survival. Reagan left, devastated. Months blurred. Therapy helped Reagan unpack. Internalized homophobia, fear of loss. She dated casually women testing waters. But none compared to Marley. A chance encounter. Running into Alex at a bar. Marley's miserable, Alex said. Hope flickered. Reagan called. I miss you. Me too. They met, rebuilding slowly. But past damages lingered. Trust issues, resentments. Society evolved slightly, laws passed, attitudes shifted. But in their bubble, prejudices persisted. Family thawed minimally. Reagan's parents invited her home. Awkward dinners ensuing. Marley's dad recovered, grudgingly accepting. I don't understand, but you're my daughter. Progress but slow. The couple faced new challenges. Moving in together, navigating public life. A pride event tested them, protests, slurs. Reagan froze, Marley marched. Why didn't you join? Marley asked later. Fear, Reagan admitted. The vulnerability bonded them. But the story's core remained, choices and costs. Now in the motel, Reagan drove back. Time to face it. Reagan arrived at Marley's apartment in the city, the door opening to reveal tired eyes and a tentative smile. You came. They embraced, the familiar warmth igniting hope amid the ruins. The months since the pause had been a crucible. Reagan had rebuilt. New job in a progressive firm, therapy sessions dissecting her traumas. I realized I was living for others, she told Marley over coffee. Not anymore. Marley nodded, her own journey parallel. Dad's talking to me again. Small steps. But scars showed. Trust rebuilding was painstaking, questions about past doubts, assurances given. Society's grind continued. At work, Reagan faced microaggressions. You're so normal for a lesbian. She pushed back, now voice stronger. Family dynamics shifted. Sarah visited, awkward but genuine. I want to understand. Reagan opened up. It wasn't about betraying you. It was finding me. Tears flowed, healing begun. Yet, conflicts persisted. Marley's promotion required relocation to a less accepting state. What about us? Reagan asked. We'll make it work. But doubt crept. Long distance? More sacrifices? A family reunion tested resolve. Mr. Thompson. I tolerate it but don't flaunt. Marley challenged. This is flaunting? Being happy. Reagan supported, pride swelling. Internally she reflected. We've paid dearly, lost time, broken bonds. But gained authenticity. The awakening culminated in a quiet ceremony. Just them, Sarah as witness. Vows exchanged. Through storms I choose you. But life wasn't fairy tale. Arguments flared. Over finances, influenced by family cuts. Therapy helped. Love requires work. Societal wins. Marriage equality solidified but backlashes rose. They advocated now, volunteering, sharing stories. One night, Reagan confessed. Sometimes I wonder if we'd chosen differently. Marley. Regrets? No. Growth. The narrative wove through damages and redemptions, each choice a double-edged sword. In the end they stood together, resilient. But was the pain justified? Did love conquer or merely endure? Was betraying friendships and family for personal truth morally right? Or selfishly wrong? The couple settled into city life, but echoes of the past haunted. Reagan's nightmares, Sarah's accusatory stare, parents' rejection. Waking, she'd cling to Marley. It's over, Marley soothed. But was it? A cousin's wedding excluded them. Too controversial, the invite said. Hurt renewed. Marley raged. We deserve better. Reagan calmed. We'll build our own family. Friends emerged, LGBTQ circles offering support. Stories shared. Similar struggles, triumphs. Inspiration fueled activism. Reagan blogged anonymously, words pouring. The cost of authenticity. Readers responded. You gave me courage. Impact rippled. But personal tolls mounted. Marley's health suffered. Stress-induced anxiety. Reagan blamed herself. My hesitation worsened it. Guilt cycle. Therapy duo sessions. Unpacking betrayals. You didn't betray, therapist said. You chose truth. Internal shift. Sarah's baby shower. Invitation came. They attended tentative. Baby in arms, Sarah. Aunt Marley? Aunt Reagan. Tears. Acceptance budding. Mr. Thompson held the child, glancing at them. Family's family. Yet debates lingered. At dinner, politics arose. Gay agenda ruining society. Marley countered facts. Reagan joined, strength found. Moral reflections deepened. Was their path right? Hurt caused but growth fostered. Society evolved. Pride parades larger, laws protective. But in heartland America, prejudices endured. They visited the lake house, nostalgia mixed pain. On the dock, Reagan. Here it started. Marley. And continues. Kiss under stars, full circle. But questions remained. Did we pay too high a price? Years passed. Careers flourished, bonds mended. In quiet moments, Reagan pondered. Love's victories outweigh losses? The story closed on ambiguity, life's complexity. Was sacrificing family harmony for individual love ultimately justifiable, or a profound error?